cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some slippery road conditions could develop, all due to some ice across the north today. High temperatures upper 30s north, mid 40s with rain further south. Another round of some freezing rain with some light ice accumulations tonight across the north, low 30s north, mid 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to the
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, good morning, and let's get this stuff out of here before baseball season starts. I don't know if that'll be the case this weekend. Things looking a little bit dicey Saturday, but I'm not worried about that for the moment. It is a great day to be with you on Halftime. Happy Tuesday. This is ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I am Phil Elson with Matt Jones. Christian Johnston is producing. It's great to be with you guys here for a Tuesday before a game day. It is a game day in the SEC. Actually, got a lot of games in the SEC today. Nobody's got a bye this weekend, or an off weekend if you want to call it that. We'll have number 1 or number 2 playing, depending on which poll you're looking at. Auburn visiting the Madhouse, the Canby Memorial Gymnasium in Vanderbilt. You got a Tennessee-Kentucky matchup at Rupp today. Alabama visiting Texas, Georgia A&M, Florida, Mississippi State. It is a studly day for basketball in the SEC. And, of course, we got a game tomorrow that we'll be airing right here on ESPN Arkansas with the Razorbacks in a must-win against LSU. Good morning, Matt Jones. Day after all the talk of the Super Bowl. Of course, that kind of goes throughout the rest of the week. Big game tomorrow for the Hogs, and still counting down to baseball coming up on Friday, my friend.
Good morning. Yes, let's go baseball, man. Happy Tuesday. I kind of like the weather sometimes like this. It's just kind of overcast here. It's kind of pretty today. But Champions League, Phil, knockout stages start today. You get Brest and PSG, Juventus and in Eindhoven, Man City and Real Madrid in a home and home. I mean, get out of here. The two highest paid teams in soccer this first round. Then you get Portugal, kind of a smaller club, going against Dortmund. So 4 games today in the Champions League as well.
How can you not be romantic about the knockout stages of the Champions League? That's what people like to say about baseball.
It's like going to Omaha. It's the same concept. Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Although this is the start of everything, not the end of it. And yeah, we got pitchers and catchers starting to report tomorrow across the major leagues. This is officially now game week all across Division I college baseball. And we are now, well, it's, if it was a usual month, not this February thing where we only have 28 days, this would be about a month before Selection Sunday, which is like I don't know if Selection Sunday is the national holiday, but the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament certainly are. First 4, I think you could classify that as well. Although, Matt, I think have you gone on record on the show as sort of stating that feels more like a play-in than it really is part of the tournament? Because it does feel more like a play-in than it does actual part of the tournament.
What game is this?
The first 4.
Yeah, it's kind of everybody gets a trophy kind of participation, but the thing that you kind of notice it's kind of like the football team this year, the playoffs. Everybody that played that first round, they won the second round, and it's almost somebody in that group is going to make a little run to the second week. You know, they kind of get going. You kind of get that nervous energy out. It's kind of welcome to the tournament, but it does feel like a play-in game, and sometimes you might have a 12 seed playing a 12 seed, and the way they kind of configure it up, I'm sure there's a method to their madness, but every year it seems like somebody does kind of make a little run from that game.
Well, usually it's going to be one of the teams that is the last at-large. I think that was the case with George Mason. That was the case with UCLA when they made their runs to the Final
Tennessee
Four.
did it one year. I think they made it to a Sweet 16 from the play-in game.
Yeah, but then the other 2 are going to be conference champions of some sort, and usually the bottom of the barrel in terms of how the conferences are viewed. You know, when you look right now on Lunardi's bracketology, this team is going to be on the bubble unless they go like undefeated in these last 8.
Can't lose this game. Can't lose tomorrow night.
Lose this game as well. You might as well go undefeated and then worry about a bubble because you can't be the only 2 wins for LSU. Right. In the SEC. Now, hey, it's a different team. I think Arkansas is a different team from them. Later on, we'll hear from John Calipari at yesterday's Cal Radio show about what he sees of the differences between the LSU team that beat Arkansas a month ago and the team that we'll see tomorrow. But the Hogs, Matt, are also a different team. They don't have 2 guys that started that ball game. One of them won't even see the floor, and who knows how much time Jonas Adu plays. Adu started that ball game. He was out there for near 30 minutes. Boogie Flan started that ball game. Arkansas is also a different team. And heck, even if you didn't know that you got these 2 guys that started and aren't playing at all or as much right now, if they were just nameless faces, you just know these guys are playing a lot better than they did a month ago. So I haven't gone into many SEC games since the opener against Tennessee feeling really confident about an Arkansas win. I do about tomorrow because I do think they're playing that much better than they were when they lost to LSU.
Yeah, I want to when we get Coach Z on, ask him, do they go back and watch that film, because LSU is going to have some of the personnel. What is the strength? What does LSU try to do? What are they trying to get to? And then what happened in the last game? How come it was LSU? Are we a better team now? So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Z has to say.
Felt one of those fluky games. LSU won that game at the foul line. Arkansas picking up 19 fouls to just 11 by LSU. The Hogs rebounded well enough with LSU. They had turned it over fewer times. They took more shots. They made more threes, a better percentage from 3. It was just about fouls. And hopefully you don't send them to the foul line all that much. As a game as he did in Baton Rouge, I would think that won't be the case.
How many minutes did Big Z play in that game?
There you go.
To your point, but Boogie's not playing, and then Big Z. I think we could, if I remember right, we couldn't really stay in front of them. They were physical, they're athletic, they're not a great basketball team, but whatever they were doing, we weren't really staying in front of them. So I wonder now the difference in how the minutes are going to be divvied up from the game a month and a half ago.
Well, Z played just short of 7 minutes.
I think he'll play triple that.
Did not score, did not grab a rebound, had one of the 2 shots that he took blocked and missed the other one. Billy Richmond also played about 10 minutes, which I guess is about what he'll play tomorrow, maybe a little bit more. He fouled 4 times during that stretch. Janelle Davis played. That was one of his better games of January. 10 points, 5 rebounds. You'd expect to get a little more from Nelly as he's been playing a lot better over the last few weeks. So it is a different team. So you get a feel. I think most of our listeners would too. A little bit different, a lot different than they did against how they watching that game, which was an ugly one.
Do you remember a guy named Stromile Swift who played at LSU and was a first-round draft pick by the Memphis Grizzlies? LSU had a couple guys, Phil, on their team that are just uber athletic, maybe even more athletic than some of our guys. That's the one thing I remember about that LSU team. They got a couple guys that really do play above the rim.
Cam Carter and Jordan Sears, I think, are the two guys you're thinking of. Sears came off the bench to score 17. Carter scored 27, and that was more than anybody else in the ball game. But again, I think it's a team that believes what they're doing, and just the minutes that are being doled out quite a bit different. And it should be a win tomorrow. It better be, because it's your last quad 3 win of the 3 game of the season. 8 games left. You've got quad 1 games, and I know the net ranking stuff can kind of make your eyes glaze over sometimes, but this means something. It really does. It means something. Arkansas has the 5, A&M, Auburn on the road, Vandy on the road, Missouri at home, Mississippi State at home. Quad 2 games, Texas at home, Carolina on the road, and then tomorrow quad 3 against LSU. Can't lose the quad 2, quad 3 games. Probably need, what do you think, 2 wins out of those quad 1 games?
What's this put us at 4 if we beat LSU?
That's right.
And so you got 8 games left. I think you'd have to go 3 and 4. If we can get to 7 and just but winning this game, and then you're talking about how the quality of opponents. I think you beat 3 quad 1 teams in the last month. That's got to be you got to beat South Carolina as well. So let's say LSU, South Carolina gets you to 5. You think if we just win 2 of those games, you get in? Yeah,
I do. I think if you defend your home court, you beat Missouri at home, you beat Mississippi State at Bud Walton, you pick up the wins that you should against LSU, Texas, and Carolina, I think you may be in a pretty good place. As long as you don't get the wheels blown off at Auburn or at Vandy, and I still think Vanderbilt. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna count them out against anybody right now. Even going on the road to A&M and Auburn, I think I'll give Arkansas a pretty good fighting chance in them. Should be good games. Maybe pick up the win at Vandy, but I think if you win 3 of those games, then you're gonna get in. But you are on the bubble right now. Right now in Lunardi's bracketology, Arkansas is the smallest violin in the world team, number 69 out of 68 teams that get in. That's where you're going to be. That
means you control your destiny. As a player, Jack Del Rio, he said, we're going to play hard until they tell us we're out of the tournament, till we can't make it in the playoffs, until mathematically we can't get in. We're going to play hard and we're going to go out there and give it our best. That's what the Hogs have to do until they say, hey guys, sorry y'all tried, but you're not good enough. You go out there and you give it all you got.
I feel like we're going to end up getting really sick and tired of hearing about net rankings and bubbles and measurables and committees and all of that, because that's basically what the basketball conversation will be after all of the results and how you get to those results. It's all that stuff that leads to you basically not on the edge of your seat watching the NCAA selection show, but standing up and jumping up and down, just kind of sort of waiting for Arkansas to be mentioned. Here's what's halftime today. A lot of Arkansas mentions, of course, on a Tuesday. Hour number 3, Bill King back with us after last week. We gave him the show off last week because he didn't have a voice. He was still hosting his show on WNSR, but he sounded a little bit like a cross between a frog and Darth Vader. But he's back, and he still has that great voice now, so he'll join us in the 3rd hour. No Alyssa Orange today because she continues to travel extensively through Europe. Right now, I believe she's in Italy getting prepared for next year's Winter Olympics. So we've got Matt Zimmerman coming in instead in about an hour from the Razorback basketball broadcast to preview tomorrow's game against LSU. And later on here in hour number 1, in about 18 minutes or so, Kevin Bohannon, who covers Arkansas baseball, college baseball, high school baseball all across the state for 247 Sports and the Democrat Gazette, will join us because opening day is coming up on Friday. And your calls and texts as we go throughout the show. The number, as you might know, is 877-377-6963. Stay with us. We'll come right back after this.
I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
This is halftime.
I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, We're the best team in the country today, and it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one Baby Shad. The original Baby Shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original Baby Shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
See, baby, all the time like me. Falling, falling at your feet. I'm tingling right from my head to my toes. So help me, help me, help me let the feeling go. 'Cause when the love starts and the lights go down, and there's nothing that's all around. Until the sun comes up and say
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Usually we'll run through some famous birthdays. I was unaware. We wasn't paying attention, I guess. Yesterday, John Calipari celebrated his 66th birthday by doing a radio show.
I'm going to do a radio show. That's what I'm doing on my birthday.
Welcome to my life, Cal. Been doing that for quite a long time. I'm sure he has as well. Wouldn't be the first time, especially if you're a basketball coach and your birthday occurs right there around February. There was another thing he said yesterday about the crowd leaving early down 18 against Alabama in the second half.
Why did I leave? They may win this game, and I'm not in there.
Yeah. Was there ever a game that you had left and you wish you didn't leave? Most of the time, you leave early, you have very good reason to leave early, and the expected outcome becomes the actual outcome. Down 18, and with a little more than 12 minutes left in the second half, usually, even with a nice little comeback, becomes lose by 7, 8, 9. Not a game that comes down to the very end. So yeah, I'm not there to blame people who leave early. It's just it's almost a bit of a not a lesson, but might keep you in the arena a little later the next time out. I do my absolute best to not leave games early. Now, broadcasting a game, you can't leave early. Quite often, one of the last people, if not the last person, to walk out of Bud Walton after a women's game or after leaving Baum-Walker Stadium. But man, I had a father who wanted to leave early sometimes, would not want to stick around for extra innings, for Pirates games, because he's got that dental practice he had to run. He had to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and drive to work and fix people's teeth and make sure we had food and clothing and education and all those things. But every once in a while, I'll be able to convince him otherwise. I guess one of the more famous stories would be the Dodgers World Series '88 against the A's and the Gibson home run. A lot of people left that ballpark early. Dodgers fans are kind of famous for that anyway. And I think I've seen the photo of it, of all of the brake lights that were lit up, because, of course, they've got the radio broadcast on while they're driving away. Many of you who might have left Bud Walton last Saturday early might have also been listening to Chuck and Zim. You can't get back into the arena, though. It's pretty impossible to do that. I was able to convince my dad, Matt, to stay at the 1994 All-Star game for one extra inning. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but he obviously had to go to work. They don't play the All-Star game on weekends. They play it like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It's like, no, I got to go to work. It's like, screw work. Do you realize where we are? We're in the seventh row of the All-Star game. We're staying here, right? It's one of the only times a 15-year-old son convinced, I don't remember how old my dad was, would have been in his late 40s, of anything to do with his time. And it paid off. It paid off because that was a famous walk-off hit by Moises Alou scoring Tony Gwynn from first base. And if we would have left early, we would not have had that memory. The memory would have been, my God, why did we miss that?
We got home early on time, though. That would have been, yeah.
He got to work on time instead. Yeah. What are the games you've left early that you wish you hadn't have left early? BE reminds us about Coach Richardson leaving a game early once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Matt, you've never left a game early, right? You can unless you're hurt. Well, Nolan stormed off the court once, and Zim was the guy who had the key to let him into the locker room. Otherwise, Coach Richardson would have been standing out there just waiting to find a way to get in, or maybe he would have come back out onto the floor. Who knows?
I'm trying to think of some famous ejections. They happen a lot. And didn't Coach Cal leave a game early in Bud Walton, or was it just one tech? Did he not get two techs? Did he have to leave? Is that what he's talking about?
I think it might have been. So that's the famous, DVH shouting down.
Yeah.
Was it a double tech? Who out there remembers this? Was it a double tech or a single tech? I don't remember
who's
if he
the
got
last
thrown
coach
out of the game or not.
Yeah, who's the last coach to be thrown out at Bud Walton? When's the last time it's happened? What about the baseball park? Doesn't somebody usually get thrown out once a year? It seems like the
last one I
State?
remember was the Alabama coach who got popped for gambling, Brad Bohannon. It was the same year. I don't remember what it was he was angry about, but I must have been strike zone or something, because that's the thing that's going to get you thrown out. And so he comes out to argue, and it was a mild argument, but he gets the thumb, and then he mocked Razorback fans on his way down the stairs. He mocked the hog call. I remember thinking, Bohannon's not usually like that. Something's weird here. I didn't think he was giving information to gamblers, but a couple months later the information comes out. You're like, wow. So that ejection at Bohm was not the stupidest thing he had done all season. That's the last one I remember. You ever have one of your football coaches get kicked out of a game? That's about as rare as it gets.
Yeah, I told you I was in Jacksonville. I think it was either my third or fourth year, and Warren Sapp was playing with the Raiders, and he got thrown out of the game and kind of made a scene a little. It wasn't as bad as Antonio Brown or whoever some of the last guys are, but he was fired up. He was not happy. We won that game, I think, by 20-something points, so it was he wasn't happy. But I remember that's the only one I kind of really remember getting thrown out.
I remember once thinking Bill Cowher was going to get ejected from a game against the Vikings. I think this was the 95 season. It was the last play of the first half, and I think it was a Minnesota field goal that is counted good, even though the Vikings had 12 players on the field, and Cowher shouting out at the officials, there's 12 players on the field, and then they were able to get a photo to him before he ran off the field of the all 12 you could see, or the all 22, you could see 12 Minnesota Vikings were on the field, and he stuffs the picture in the official's shirt before running off into the locker room. Like, you're not supposed to touch the officials. I thought, that's it. Cowher's gone. He wasn't. I still can't remember a football coach getting ejected from a game. 877-377-6963. See, that's the one that we remember
Did
about.
they kick him out, or did he stay on the sideline and got in trouble afterwards?
It was all afterwards.
Yeah.
It was all afterwards when that happened. Who can give us an instance of a football coach getting kicked out of a game? Yeah, it was a double tech when it happened at Bud Walton.
I thought he had to go take a shower, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple people, a lot of people remembering that there. Musk got thrown out a few times. Yeah, Musk did get thrown out a few times. And Ryan also texts and remember, Van Horn, I mean, he's fiery. He's really fiery when it comes to the game. Before replay, I think there would have been a few more ejections in Dave's career and probably more arguments, but replay.
And he's getting a little older. You kind of, yeah.
That's true.
You kind of try to mature a little bit. And it's sometimes you got to get thrown out just to get a spark. I mean, there's different, it's like we say, coaching is a lot of psychology.
That's exactly right. You figure I'm fighting for my team. And the other aspect of this was like, you know what? I really don't want to watch what they're doing anymore. So we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, at least I don't have to watch this crap for the next 6 innings. But yeah, that's what replay did. Replay did that to football, or did that to baseball. The balls and strikes that's gonna be argued until the end of time. Even when you get an automatic ball strike zone, so people are still not going to believe what they're told, and maybe it might not actually be true. Might not actually be real. BH said, yeah, Tomlin. I forget who it was. Mike Tomlin looked like he was going to trip somebody that was running an interception down the sideline. I remember Cowher almost did that once. Looked like he was going to. Harbaugh suspended from games, but it wasn't that he was kicked out of a game that he was coaching. That's the thing. You see it in basketball. You see it in baseball. I've even seen a hockey coach get thrown out of a game. It's not like you can give him a 5-minute misconduct or anything, or 2 minutes in the penalty box. Wouldn't that be fun to watch? A guy in a suit sitting in the penalty box that isn't the one running the penalty box. Doesn't have the pads on, doesn't have a stick, doesn't even have a helmet on or anything like that. Jeffrey says Sonny Dykes got ejected from a game this past year. Now, I didn't know about it, so I'll have to look it up and check and see what happened there. But that would be kind of a one-off sort of a thing, isn't it? 877-377-6963. Here it was. I brought up the idea of fans leaving games early and those that you wish you hadn't. Turns out maybe the more interesting conversation are the coaches who left the game early and what effect that might have had on the game.
I know. I don't know. Y'all don't watch a lot of soccer, but in soccer, you get a red card. It's an early shower, and then also you got to play with the man down for the rest of the game. So then it just you kind of get behind it a little bit. But they'll be, and then if you get a 2 yellows, it's like 2 techs or whatever. But I bet you each team has 4, 5, 6 games where somebody gets a double yellow or a red card, and you have to play a man down.
It's a permanent power play.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that'd be like a hockey power play, huh?
But we don't use the term power play in soccer outdoors. I do remember, though, because I was an indoor soccer fan growing up in Pittsburgh. We had a team called the Spirit in the Major Indoor Soccer League. We'd play the San Diego Sockers, the Cleveland Steamers. That was a fun name. I think it was the St. Louis Steamers, the Cleveland Crunch. The other words are, I think, on some sort of dictionary online somewhere. Yeah, they called that a power play in indoor soccer, but that wasn't like the soccer that you'd like to watch.
The special one, Jose Mourinho, he would he would get kicked out notoriously. He's Portuguese, so he's feisty and fiery, but he'd get kicked out, and then he'd go over to the side and try to write notes and hand them to him and it's like, no, you can't do that, But that's kind of what I was feeling like Harbaugh was doing with their head coach last year. There was a transfer of information.
Brought to you by the Clay Maxi Auto Group. Their promise, always providing a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. You'll find their locations in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville, believing in serving their hometown communities through local partnerships, events, and programs, supporting growth and well-being of the areas that they serve. Also have competitive, transparent pricing, making sure that you find exactly the money that you're going to be spending at Clay Maxi Auto Group. Reliable and consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians. Here's more information online at claymaxiautogroup.com. Kevin Bohannon from 247 Sports will stop by. We're going to talk Arkansas baseball right after this.
Hasta la vista, baby.
This is Halftime.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, and because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Opening day for college baseball is Friday. Pitchers and catchers are reporting starting tomorrow across Arizona and Florida. Let's talk some baseball with Kevin Bohannon from 24/7 Sports. You can read him there. He covers college baseball, high school baseball, Arkansas baseball as well. You can also read him in the Democrat Gazette. And we appreciate you having some time for us today, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, doing good, guys. If we could get some baseball weather in, I'll be a little bit better.
Yeah, 35 degrees in Fayetteville. Got that cold rain. Man, if there's one thing I just can't deal with, I like snow. I hate the cold rain. This is not the kind of day you could play baseball in. But, we'll see. We'll see. We'll get some games in this weekend. And I think right now, it'll be interesting to see if we do play 4 games, because you got 4 starting pitchers for this team with only 3 weekend spots. And the thought is all 4 of them will pitch this weekend. And it does feel like there's still 1 spot up for grabs on the weekends, Kevin.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Dave Van Horn last week when he met with the media ahead of the Shriners Showdown Classic. He said games 1 and 2 are decided, which would be Gabe Gackle and Zach Root. Game 3 we're pretty sure about, but Game 4 was kind of up in the air. And after this weekend, it kind of flip-flopped in my mind. So Landon Cheese, the man they call Cheese, went out, had another great performance. 65 pitches over 5 innings, was very efficient, walked 1, struck out 7. He did it against the reserve lineup, which this team is deeper. We know that. Cam Cozile was the leadoff. He was 2 for 3. He's 9 of his last 15. But Gage Wood, who was projected to be the Game 3 starter going into this weekend, ran into some trouble. The starters who were shut out the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday in the scrimmage just unloaded. Kendall Diggs had a 2-run home run. Rocco Pepe hit a ball 420 feet. So, yeah, those are the 4. Now you got to figure out how to slot them. And Coach Van Horn and Matt Hobbs, they've always done a good job of going by matchups. So I still think, and this is, of course, if we get 3 or 4 games in, you still have Gackle, Root, Vital Cheese kind of moves up to 3, and Wood 4 for me right now.
You know, I think a thing that stands out for me about this starting rotation, just based on what they've done before and what I've seen from Gabe and what I've seen from Gage, even in this offseason, is that it's a rotation that throws strikes. And I think that was an issue at times last year, not with Hagen Smith, but with the other starting pitchers. And that's usually going to be the first thing that gets you out or off the mound, is if you don't throw strikes. These are guys that throw strikes. They have stuff too, but it feels like you're really going to have to earn your way on base against this Arkansas starting rotation.
That's exactly right. Gage Wood last year, 56 strikeouts, only 8 walks. Gackle, we saw the stuff he was as a reliever, but you saw Saturday's first scrimmage combined, and this is out of all the pitchers, and Zach Root was the starter for one team. Carson Wiggins threw 9 strikes in 9 pitches. Cole Gibbler, another freshman lefty, threw 14 strikes in 15 pitches. There were 17 combined strikeouts to only 1 walk. And that's what they preached all offseason. And you start to see these freshmen. Ross Felder was another one that's kind of moved up in the pecking order, that if you throw strikes, you're going to get on the mound. But if you walk guys, that's like you said, it's the quickest way to get off the field.
And then thinking about some of the guys that are behind them, you know, I know McIntyre looked really good the other day. And I still feel like that's somebody that this staff will lean on, even though it is a deeper, I think more talented and more experienced staff than you saw last year. McIntyre's experience in the SEC has to mean something, and his experience of being a Razorback and growing up in the state of Arkansas. You know, just another guy that I was thinking of is Aiden Jimenez. Jimenez is brand new to here. You know, it's coming from a great program at Oregon State, but I don't think he's ever been in Arkansas before. He's never pitched in the SEC previously. You know, it's like in this day and age, Kevin, where, you know, they still rely on Arkansas kids to put the program together, but you look at the roster and there's kids from all across the country. I think it still means something to have somebody like Will McIntyre, who is, well, they'll say he's got Razorback red running right through his veins.
That's right. And a story like McIntyre, that's what it's all about. It's kind of the Carson Shaddy route. Shaddy came as a walk-on. McIntyre, I can't guarantee you he got much money when he got here. I know he's getting some now with the way money comes into the university, but a guy that's been there 6 years, he was on the verge of being cut, and he makes that start at Dickey Stevens Park. You know which game I'm talking about, against UCA. Then next thing you know, he goes a complete game the next year. And the other day, everybody's been asking me, how do you see McIntyre fitting into this when you have so much young talent? And my response is easy. High leverage situations that can turn into multiple inning relief efforts. That's the bottom line.
It's also, like, Kevin, you know what else it is too, and you pay attention. Dave Van Horn trusts players, pitchers that he has trusted previously. And it's nothing against anybody else that's new to the program right now, but that's a main reason why McIntyre will get to the mound.
That's exactly right. And you can see it with a lot of guys, Kendall Diggs being another one of them. You know, Diggs coming into this year was, well, if he's healthy, he'll get on the field, but we don't know where. Well, as of this past weekend, he's in right field. He's hitting in the middle of the lineup because Coach Van Horn and Coach Thompson trust him. But back to McIntyre, he comes in with he relieved Colin Fisher. Fisher was okay, inning and 2/3. There's a runner on second and third. McIntyre gets an out. Then he continues to go out there 4 more times, goes 4 in the 3rd inning, only 2 hits, does not allow a walk, gets a few strikeouts. His ability to command the fastball at 90 to 92 on both sides of the plate has made him that better pitcher this year.
What do you think about what you've seen offensively? Will this be a team that hopefully doesn't fall into prolonged slumps?
I don't think they will, and here's why. I think the coaching staff has finally figured out what they need to do to be successful. The first 2 years of NIL, they were just kind of replicating what they've done in the past by going out and getting transfer players. If you look back to 2018 and 19, when they were leading the nation in home runs and hitting 115, whatnot, those were guys that had come through the program. So they were building those guys, and they had had them for 2 or 3 years. They knew how to train them. But once NIL came here, they were trying to just, pick and choose, replace. They were doing the Moneyball thing, just replace the guy and move on, go through free agency. And while it worked a little bit, it did not work best for the team. And now they go out and kind of they drop the script and say, hey, we need to get back to a more athletic lineup where we can do various things offensively to score runs. Now, you still have some boppers, Nolan Sousa, Kendall Diggs, Ryder Helfrich. Those guys can hit the ball of the park. You've had 8 guys in the lineup that's going to start this week, and they hit a home run in the preseason. But they're also able to run the bases. And it's not just about being fast on the base path. It's about having good dirt ball reads. It's about taking advantage of a slow pitcher, laying down a bunt for a hit. It's a lot more athletic lineup, and you can see that on the field, and you can see the energy that it brings as well.
You think Kendall Diggs is going to start the season in the out? Now, I think he'll play over the weekend.
I think he'll be a DH.
You think he'll be a DH to start opening day?
I do. I think he's a DH, and then you got Maxwell in right, Thomas in left, Davalan in center.
Yeah. What do you think about the outfield?
I love Davalan. The energy and, looking at his story coming from Montreal and transferring down to Florida, living there for a couple of years, playing at Florida Gulf Coast. He's got the energy. He's got the pop. He's been dealing with a little bit of a hamstring issue, but he's that type of center fielder that fits the mold of what they've had in the past. And he can put up those numbers. He can hit 11, 12 home runs, be a 40, 45 RBI guy. Really fast, good arm. He threw out a guy at third the other day by about 3 steps. That was good to see. The wild card in the whole thing is Justin Thomas. He's a bounce back from Georgia, didn't hit all that well. If he can stay middle to right side, he's a right-handed hitter. But if he could not get pull happy and just stay up the middle, he's going to hit. And that's the one they think could really take off.
He's kind of a spark plug. Is just kind of watching him a little. He'll be, to me, I can see he's batting 9th, and you know how Dave views the number 9 spot. It's that secondary or extra leadoff hitter. That Thomas, to me, fits that role perfectly. Maxwell's the guy. I'd asked Matt Hobbs, who's put together consistently the toughest at bats against your pitchers. He said Maxwell. I know a lot. Yeah. Maxwell, I think he could have gone anywhere in the SEC. He chose Arkansas.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you got a guy that's hit 331 in a Power 4 conference like he has, an honorable mention Big 12 last year, he can play a couple of positions, but when you got a guy that can lay it down for a bunt, he can hit behind runners, use the whole field, gap-to-gap power, that's the guy that you really worry about. You can see it in the at-bats. He'll get down 0-2, he'll work the count, draw a walk, move a runner over. It's the small things. He may get out, but it was a quality at-bat. And that's the things that once they can do those 3 or 4 times in a row, Coach Van Horn talks about in the SEC, it's hard to get 3 hits in a row. But if you can string together quality at-bats, that's when you start producing runs at a level that, gets you 2 out of 3 or a series sweep.
So all this is all scouting on Razorbacks, and it looks like a team that is put together really very nicely, balanced both on the mound, righties, lefties, in the pen, speed, power, some depth as far as in the field. But all that also is, you got to think about that in context compared to the other teams you're playing, specifically in the SEC, where you got 7 of the top 15 that is on Arkansas's schedule. And, of course, Arkansas is one of those top 15, 5, 4, 3, depending on the poll you're looking at. So, the league is just as good as it ever was, or do you think the SEC is, if it could be, even slightly better than it's been previously?
I think it could be slightly better because the wild card is, of course, Texas, and you could look, they're ranked anywhere from 7th to 18th. Of course, Arkansas has them at the end of the season, but that stretch, the stretch at the end of April into May, and a lot of people, they'll be like, how does OU get an easy schedule coming into the SEC? Why does Arkansas always get a tough schedule? And Arkansas fans should know this by now, that they just don't ask any questions, just accept the way it is. and go on from there. You have Florida, Texas, at LSU, and then Tennessee to end the year. So, and then you have Texas A&M right before that. So it's going to be tough, but you're going to have to go through these teams. And if at the end of the year, it won't be a 20-10 or 21-9 team that wins this, because these teams are going to beat each other up. 18-12 may win it this year just because of the parity in the league. Texas A&M, when Schwarzenegger left to go, to the rival, everybody thought, well, everybody's going to go with him. Next thing you know, A&M's a consensus number one across every poll. And they got one of the best pitchers in the nation in Ryan Prager. And they got the top draft pick in Jace Lavalette in the outfield. So it's going to be tough, but pitching, defense is going to be key. And I think they built this team to be durable. The last few years, they haven't been durable. I've always said, guys, you need 9 or 10 pitchers on a weekend if you want to win a series or win a regional. I think they've gotten to that point. If they can stay healthy, they've got a shot.
Kevin, appreciate your time. We'll certainly make some time to do this again as long as you can find it. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Go Hogs.
Kevin Bohannon covering college baseball, high school baseball, Razorback baseball at 24/7 Sports and the Democrat Gazette. Our number on halftime, 877-377-6963. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is Halftime. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
The track capital of the world is right here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The historic Razorback Track and Field program chases their 52nd national title this winter. Cheer on the nationally ranked Hogs as they open up the indoor season on the world's fastest track, located inside the Randall Tyson Indoor Track Center on campus. Season tickets are on sale now for all 7 home meets for just $40. Join the chase for the next title today at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, and because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Empower.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Sugar. Give it all, whatever it took.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Go to the phones here. Brett in Greenwood held over that break. Brett, I appreciate your patience and your time. What's going on?
Hey, guys. I'm in Glenwood, Arkansas, down here near Hot Springs, and just listening to your show, and just wanted to call in and tell you guys looking forward to Razorback baseball, and you do a fantastic job play-by-play, and I love Bubba. I believe Bubba Carpenter.
That's the guy.
The color.
Yep.
And, I always was a Razorback football, basketball fan, big time. Never was really into baseball. And then one time I was just driving down here. I live in Indiana, but family's here in Arkansas. And I heard you guys doing the broadcast, and I was like, who is this color guy, man? He's just ripping on the other team's coach and just, and I was like, what is it? And it was just great. And just got hooked. And now, really love watching the Hogs play baseball. I've been down to Baum Stadium a few times. And so I just wanted to call and tell you, man, I really enjoy y'all. Look forward to hearing you this spring. And I'm hoping the Hogs, like everybody else, I hope we get to Omaha maybe.
Hey, from your lips to the baseball god's ears, Brett. Thank you very much. I just say, that's exactly the kind of phone call that any play-by-play announcer would want to hear. Not necessarily that you never know what the color announcer is going to say, but if you listen to the broadcasts, you're well aware of that. You try to create fans, even when you don't realize you're doing that. I know there's lots of reasons why our listeners are baseball fans or Razorback fans, and if listening to the broadcast is one of the things that got you into it, that's, hey, Brett, you just made me blush. You made me blush big time. So thanks. And that, you never quite know how Bubba's going to go at the other team. If you get a team that's too showy, kind of look at me, he's going to go at him a little bit, but he'll always have those Razorback glasses on. I think he just calls them my Razorback glasses, not even rose-colored. He'll look at anything through the Razorbacks through that spectrum. And it is the most fun I've had doing baseball, without question. So I appreciate that phone call and the sentiments very, very much. We're moving into hour number 2 here on Halftime. In just a moment, we'll be talking with Matt Zimmerman from the Arkansas basketball broadcast 20 minutes from now, getting set for Arkansas LSU tomorrow. So we're open as we come right after the break at 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Right back.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some slippery road conditions could develop, all due to some ice across the north today. High temperatures upper 30s north, mid 40s with rain further south. Another round of some freezing rain with some light ice accumulations tonight across the north, low 30s north, mid 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. In center field, makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lodge fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back on halftime. Welcome back in. 1 minute after 12 o'clock. A segment that has to end at 12:11. I promised Matt Zimmerman that, because it's a busy day to be Matt Zimmerman. You got to get ready for an LSU game tomorrow and got your Razorback Daily to do. So this will be, sometimes we'll go a little bit long in the second segment of hour number 2, or I guess reverse those numbers. First segment of hour number 1, and we'll end up doing this for just 11 minutes. So we got Charlie on hold. So usually one way to make sure that you have this segment just be 11 minutes is to get Charlie in first rather than set the topics and everything. So let the Tuna take it from there and see where he goes. Tuna, what's going on? You're the trendsetter here.
You just going to throw me out of the ocean, Phil, and let me sink or swim here?
Tunas don't sink. No, they don't fly either. I was going to say I was going to kick you out of the nest and make you fly, but you do not have wings.
That's true. That's true, and tunas do not sink. Matt is right. But no, I will say, I'm going to try not to pull the whole talk forever here thing. But you guys know I just love talking sports. I could talk about this stuff till I could skip work and do this all day. So this is much funner. But anyway, don't tell my boss I said that. But anyway, guys, I was thinking I'm really excited about baseball coming up, Phil. But I wanted to ask you because I feel like a lot of fans, and I don't think this is fair, by the way, but I get it. A lot of fans this year, I see all over social media, and I know you see it too, where it's like, okay, we expect to do, this idea. Everybody expects us to do great in the regular season. And everybody's got this idea in their head that they don't care what happens this year. If we don't make it to Omaha, it's a failure. And I wanted to ask you, is that fair or unfair? Because to me, it's a little bit unfair, considering how it goes when you get. I've never been a fan of this whole regional thing. You're used to playing a series throughout the season, then you go to a regional or super, and you lose 2 games and you're out. And it's never made a lot of sense to me. But my question to you is that fair or unfair? Because, yeah, okay, fine, let's just fire Dave Van Horn. It makes no sense to me when people start doing that.
Well,
I guess I can see. Go ahead.
I think you got to separate the idea from any level of disappointment of not making it farther in the postseason to fire Dave Van Horn. Anybody that would say that you got to get rid of Dave Van Horn as the baseball coach at Arkansas, I stopped taking the conversation seriously from that point. Now, disappointment in the postseason is a different thing. You talk to Dave, you talk to Matt Hobbs, Nate Thompson, the guys who are part of that team. Yes, they're proud of the regular season accomplishments, but they also hold their program to a standard of postseason winning. And there's always going to be, look, if you're a team that goes on the road as a 2 or 3 seed and you lose on the road, you can always justify it. You went on the road, you didn't have the kind of year to host, you weren't top 16, makes it understandable. When you're a division winner in the SEC and you're at home and you're 4th, or whatever their seed was, and you don't make it out 2 years in a row, absolutely. I mean, forget about how the fans feel about this, because I don't really want to tell fans how to feel about this. I do want to say the regular season accomplishments should stand on their own. Winning 65% of your SEC games since 2018 should stand alone. But that also means when you are that successful in the regular season, will that be taken for granted? Potentially. But your postseason is going to be the thing that fans remember, that the media remembers, and that you remember too. So I've heard them talk about this. They've been incredibly disappointed by the last 2 postseasons. They do not believe that it wipes out the specialness of winning divisions and winning SEC games at the level that they have. But winning in college baseball for some programs can just be about playing well in the regular season, making it to the NCAA tournament. Arkansas is not one of those programs. So I think they feel that sting, Charlie. Yes, they absolutely do. And fans that feel the same way, I absolutely. But you have to stop at the idea of, well, get rid of DVH because they've lost 2 in a row. They haven't won a national title, and he's never going to do it. Like that's where I stopped taking it seriously.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That's when you throw it out the window. You just kind of got to go take them and put them in their own category. It makes sense. Matt, did you catch any of the game last night with Luke? I mean, for me, it's tough for me at 9:30 already when I'm watching the Lakers because I'm already about ready to go to sleep. So a lot of times I have to go back and watch things. But I thought they looked really good last night. And look, Luka, hasn't played since December the 25th, but man, if they could get a big on the buyout market or something, that's a scary team, Matt, in the Western Conference right now. And you think about with Austin Reeves, who, by the way, just decided the other day when LeBron and Luka were out to go for 45, 7, and 7. So, I mean, he ain't about to take a back seat. So, That's a scary team in the West, is all I'm saying. Wonder what you guys thought about that. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. The game was too late for me to put it on.
Same. But it's the Utah Jazz. I don't care. You can't judge. It's like when we see the Hogs play. Who was it? Maryland Eastern Shore, or you see in a game. Nobody. The Jazz don't know what they're doing right now.
What did I see too from the Mavs game yesterday? Whatever happened on the court is not going to be as interesting as what happens in the stands. I saw a video of putting up on the video board fans dancing in the stands or whatever, and they zero in on this one fan who's dancing, and he mouths the full words "F Nico" that everybody could see right there. The GM was not in the building either. I think it'd be a little difficult to walk inside the building as the general manager when right now he is the most hated person in all of Dallas sports. And think about that too, because Jerry Jones might run a close second in that case. I say that with an entire shaker full of salt. But right now, if you're the guy that's getting more criticism than Jerry, congratulations.
I think the Jazz are on pace to win about 25 games this year. They're maybe a step above the Oakland A's in baseball. Well, what are they? The Sacramento Queen A's?
They're not even they're just the Athletics.
Yeah,
they don't have a city.
The Jazz, they're struggling right now.
Right. I guess you're not going to take into account what happens against them, but the Lakers can't get a big man now, right? I mean, they can't unless somebody's released and signs. There's no trade. The trade deadline's passed.
There might be your boy Blake Griffin might be in Japan playing. I don't know if there's. I think DeMarcus Cousins was over there giving him a little bit. The Lakers aren't big enough, but I'm still going, Phil, that I'm putting LeBron at the 4. So yeah, we got to go get a big guy. But LeBron's my big guy at the 4. He's smart enough. He's still athletic enough with the 4s, and he's physical enough. I mean, he's built like Karl Malone, who was one of the best power forwards to ever play the game. So he just kind of changes his game a little bit. Luka get comfortable. The Lakers, yeah, I mean, you got Austin Reeves. I mean, they really do. They just don't have any size. But if they might, you never know. They might find somebody.
So just because I didn't watch, it was on too late. Luka started. They said they were going to bring him along slowly. Started 24 minutes, 14 points and 5 rebounds, 4 assists. 5 of 14 shooting, went 1 of 7 deep, and made 3 of 3 free throws. So that's bringing somebody along slowly. And, they beat up the Jazz pretty heavily, too. 877-377-6963 for any thoughts on the Luka trade. Got any questions on baseball? We're going to be getting heavy into basketball with Matt Zimmerman in just a moment. Here is what John Calipari said about the differences between LSU last month and LSU right now.
Yes, you'll look and say they played certain things. Like right now, they're switching way more than they did when we played them last. And I'm talking 1 through 5. They weren't doing that before. They're throwing some zone in now and then. They didn't do much of that last time. Their guards doing some of the stuff we do on the baseline. They're doing the same kind of stuff, which they didn't do last time.
Well, whatever it is that they're doing is not working, although they gave Ole Miss a run for their money over the weekend, losing by 2 points. So that's a thing here about LSU that does stand out. Even though they're 1-9 in the SEC, they hang in there with some teams.
They're right. They have some athletes.
And haven't won a game since January 14th against Arkansas. I just saw the Arkansas women's basketball team fall to a Georgia team that hadn't won a game in a month, too. I would not like to see this happen 2 days, two times in the same week. Pretty please. Let's make sure the conversation tomorrow is a little bit different. Joe's Grill and Canteen. It'll be a great place to watch the game tomorrow as well. You might want to get over there today because every Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina is Taco Tuesday. And that means you get crispy beef or chicken tacos for just $1 all day long. Pork carnita tacos are $2.95. Pork belly or brisket tacos, $3.95. This is dine-in only, but it is all day long at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Get over there and dine in at 74th Street in Fort Smith, right across from Harps. You can put it in order online at joesfortsmith.com. And we'll come back with Matt Zimmerman from the basketball broadcast right after this.
Yeah, well, You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go. You don't have to go. All those tears I cried, all those tears I cried, oh baby please, don't
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
That's one of my favorite Zeppelin songs, but I'd put that song covered by Sheryl Crow as potentially one of the covers that I like better than the original, which feels blasphemous to say about a Zeppelin song, but have at it.
We got two more covers coming up.
Okay.
So I like that one too.
Matt Zimmerman is with us now to cover Arkansas basketball, former Arkansas Razorback assistant and color commentator on the broadcast, host of the Razorback Daily. Zim, what's up? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, Phil. Thanks for having me on. Matt, nice to talk to you guys again. Hope y'all are doing well.
Doing really, really well. Seeing on
Good.
Bracketology today that Lenardi's got Arkansas as and I call this team the smallest violin in the world team. The first team out, 69 out of 68. So that tells me we are in for quite a month before Selection Sunday, Zim.
Yes, definitely. And Lenardi's always on that thing. He's either going to get one wrong or zero wrong most years. He's really good. He's kind of the one that makes the field. And I wish I coached in this SEC, buddy, because this is the time to do it when you're getting 13 and 14 teams in out of 16. Don't believe these coaches when they say it's so hard. Hey, this is the best time. You could be coaching a league where you get 1 out of 12 or 2 out of 16 like the ACC or 3 out of 16 get in. And I've been a part of the SEC where 3 out of 14 got in. So it's pretty nice to get 14 out of 16. I'll take my chances.
And speaking of timing, are we catching LSU on the right time? They're trending. They've lost 5 in a row. Arkansas's won 3 of their last 5. Kind of a must-win game. How are you feeling about the Tigers coming into town?
Yeah, well, LSU's on a long losing streak, more than that even, because they
good for a team, though, that can be tough.
Yeah.
You got to kind of jump on them early.
Well, when they played pretty well Saturday at home, Matt, against Ole Miss, they battled LSU Ole Miss. And, they had I was watching that game back late Saturday night, and you talk about a 13-0 run for Ole Miss to come back and win the game by 2 points. Isn't that crazy? LSU didn't do anything. The last under 4-minute media timeout to the end of the game, they didn't score. They couldn't do anything. They missed free throws, turned the ball over, only took a couple shots, and they kind of got back on their heels, and Ole Miss got on the attack, and LSU could not end their losing streak, and they hadn't beaten anybody in the league besides us, and they're struggling. It's an LSU team doesn't have any depth. They'll play about 3 off the bench. They just don't get a lot from those guys generally, except for the guard. They've been bringing one of their really good players off, but he's basically a starter as far as minutes go. Jordan Sears and Cam Carter is the one that killed us. He was that's that guard's about 6'2", 6'3", whereas number 5. And he wore us out in Baton Rouge. I think he had 27 points. And Sears had a big game as well. Those two guys, they wore us out. And if you remember back to that game, they made all those foul shots. I think they were 26 out of 28 or 28 out of 30 or something like that at the foul line. I know they missed 2 free throws. And that's how they beat the Razorbacks. And we still had Boogie at that time. Boogie had 19. But I remember for a fact that Z just didn't score. He didn't hardly play.
7 minutes.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and didn't score, didn't do anything. So, he played 7 minutes, so he did get to play some. I was thinking it's more like 3 or 4 minutes, but he played 7 minutes, doesn't score. And obviously he's been a big factor now. He's such a big part of the offense. 27 points the other night, and a pretty disappointing loss to Alabama. That would have been a huge win for us to get that one at home.
Do you think we're going to see some more minutes for Billy Richmond coming up? I mean, he plays with such energy. Cal was talking yesterday on the radio show, on reasons why he's getting more playing time. We'll listen to the answer here, and then we can get your thoughts.
He was mad at one point because he wasn't playing enough, and I said, I'm happy you're mad. Do you think I'm mad you're mad? If you didn't care, you could care less. I'm not playing enough, and I'm fine with that. Well, he wasn't. I told the team, I'm not mad. I want him to have that mentality. Then when he goes in and plays, play better so I can keep you in longer. We just had to get Billy to slow down a little bit, and he is now. I'm just telling you, he impacts the game every time he steps in.
Zim, you can see it with Knox and Richmond. The both of them played with such energy. It's just a matter, I guess, sometimes of smoothing out those hard edges.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what Coach said there, but now there is a little bit of a problem. If everybody's kind of pouting or a little upset when they don't play, all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 or 4 of those guys. And then if they kind of know that the coach likes it when they're that way, then more guys are going to do it. And so it's kind of you got to balance that. And obviously Coach has done that throughout his career, balancing that stuff very well. But Billy, I've never seen him pout any. He's always played hard. He's super aggressive. He's great on defense. He's good away from the ball on defense. He's great on the ball, and he'll go in there and try to rebound and fight. And, the other night he had 9 points against top-ranked team in the nation now, Alabama. He played well and played a ton of minutes. And so whatever he was frustrated about, I know he's not frustrated about it now. He played over 25 minutes off the bench. That's a heck of a night. And so Carter's the one who's been playing so well, but I thought he really struggled against Alabama. He played 30 minutes. He played more than Billy. Of course, he's been starting. I'm sure he'll start in the LSU game, but he didn't score. And not that the Razorbacks need Carter to score 10 points every game, but I do think they need him to score 6, 8 points, 5 points, it being a pretty good threat out there. And having played 30 minutes and not score, that wasn't great for us. Offense really wasn't our problem. We scored 81 points. Most time we scored 81 in Bud Walton. The Razorbacks will win. But when you're playing the best scoring team in the conference, arguably in all of America, at 90 points a game, and Bama comes in here, and I just didn't think Bama would be able to get 85 on our defense. And I thought it would be a game in the 70s. And you knew it wasn't going to be in the 50s and 60s, but with Arkansas's defense. But I give Alabama credit to get 85 points in here, and they needed all of them to win. But Billy's going to play a lot, and I love him coming off the bench. People have been like, Billy should start. Hey, it don't matter. If he's playing 25 minutes a game, no matter whether he's starting or coming off the bench.
Yeah, Coach, I'm a Billy Richmond fan, but a Carter Knox fan as well. I just think both those guys are going to be so much fun to watch next year as well. But this year with our bigs, what's up with number 9? Is he healthy? Is he injured? He's not pouting, is he? Because there was a thing that we thought he was going to be playing 24, 25 minutes and kind of dominating the paint, and it's just like he's nowhere to be found.
Almost 30 minutes a game at Tennessee, so that's kind of what you thought. And he got here in June and was practicing and going through stuff, and then next thing you know, July, he's hurt and banged up, and then you have to have a surgery. And so a procedure, whatever they kind of how they referred it to, but he had some operational stuff done on his lower extremity there, and he's at times came back and looked pretty decent. There's been times he's been able to have some lift. You think back to some of those games in January where he was back to let the guards drive it, lob it up there for him catch it and dunk it, or come down with it and go back up and dunk. He's so long, but we hadn't seen that as much, and people have just been more physical with him. They hit him. That's what Alabama did, and Alabama wasn't going to let him get anything on the inside, and that's why he was able to float out to about 15, 16 feet, and he was wide open, and he took a couple of those and missed them, and then, he likes that left-handed little jump hook. He had one of those, missed that one. But we're going to need him down the stretch, and Cal has been saying that for 3 months. And so we're in month 4 of the season. We're actually in month 5 if you count the exhibition season. So this season's not new, and I think we're all still just kind of waiting on him to string together a bunch of – can you imagine if we could get him going, playing well, playing confident? He blocked 66 shots last year at Tennessee. Get him blocking some shots and changing shots. You put that with Savannah, you put that with Carter and Billy and the great effort you're talking about there with DJ and Nelly and the Duke Hero, and Trevin Brazil still got to come on. Now he's doing some stuff. The other night he's not scoring much, but he had a great dunk, and he got 6 rebounds. He blocks a couple shots. I mean, Trevin, when he still makes some things happen when he's out there, and I think him and Jonas Adu, out of everybody, are the two that have to come on more. They have to be better if this team is going to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. And I think that falls on those two guys. Not that, obviously, when DJ doesn't play well, with Boogie out, got to have DJ play well. When he didn't play well the other night, we couldn't beat a very good Alabama team. So all the guys that were counting on him, we need them all to be good. It's an 8-man rotation, and that's not bad either, Phil, because everybody in our league's playing 7 or 6 or 8. Only Missouri and a couple other people are playing 9 or 10 guys, so it's not like we're behind. We just don't have a lot of leeway, and we sure can't get anybody else hurt.
How important is this, the gravity of this game? I mean, we just played Alabama, and we played them tough. Now you're going to the other end of the extreme where does it hurt you more if LSU was to come in here and whoop you, and even if they win by 1, but how important is it for Arkansas? You kind of, you got to win the games you're supposed to win, and this is LSU team is a game. Do they understand just how important this game is?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think the staff is really harping on these guys about the importance of the game, and it is a game you got to win. We're the only team they've beaten, so it's already hurting us that we lost to them, even on the road in Baton Rouge. Everybody else that's gone to Baton Rouge has won, so we weren't able to do that. So now we got to pay these guys back. We're very fortunate that we get to play them twice, and so we need to go to work on these guys. And hopefully the Hawks start the game very well, get off to a great start. And I know sometimes people think we're better just grinding it, and we did pretty good with Texas like that a little bit. Kentucky was a medium to fast-paced game at times. I just like us getting out. I like us pushing the ball. I like more possessions. I think there's a lot of possessions tomorrow night. It's chaotic, and it's an exciting game, and they're running up and down the floor instead of walking and jogging up and down the floor. The Razorbacks will beat LSU pretty good. But if it's a walk it up, and it's a grind, and it's a slow game, that's going to allow LSU, who doesn't have a lot of depth, to be able to hang in there with you. And LSU beat us. So I think our guys ought to be chomping at the bit to pay these guys back. Again, we're very fortunate that we're in the 2025 SEC where just about everybody goes.
6 wins, you think? Is there a magic number that y'all have kind of in mind?
Yeah, I think that, I think they would love to get to 8 wins, but you only got 3. And you got 8. You got 4 games at home. I think a big part was when they had 5 games left at home, is win all 5 of those. Because you knew if you won all 5 of those, you're at 8 wins, and you're definitely going to get in. But we didn't get Alabama done, so you can't lose any more of these home games. And win all 4 of these, and then go beat some folks. You got very winnable road games. Not every one of them, but you got a couple on those road games that I would expect you should be able to go win. But thinking you're going to do it is not doing it. And so even on Saturday with A&M, that's been a hard. Musselman did not do well at College Station. He beat them at home, but he couldn't beat them down there. I think he ended up going 1-4 down there. So that won't be an easy game on Saturday against A&M, who's going to want to grind it out, play slow, methodical. That's how they're going to want to play. Maybe that will suit us.
Zim, I appreciate you making time for us. I know you got a busy day today, so we'll let you go, and we'll be listening tomorrow when you guys get on at 7:30. Always appreciate you.
All right, guys. Good talking to you, Matt and Phil, and talk to y'all soon.
Yes, sir.
Matt Zimmerman, former Arkansas assistant coach, long time, and, of course, on the call with Chuck Barrett tomorrow with pregame at 7:30, 8 o'clock tip, and Hog Reaction right afterwards. You want to react? You want to talk? You want to text? 877-377-6963. And remember Crabtree RV Center, if you're thinking about big plans to make big-time trips with the family over the late spring and summer, you need an RV to make it perfect. There are RVs on the lot at Crabtree RV Center that fit you perfectly. Just give them a visit. They're at the junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel in Alma. Been doing it for over 70 years. You can also get a look online at crabtreerv.com. Now stay with Halftime. Much more coming after this break.
They were so convincing in their argument. They swung me.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go. Move it. Move it.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build it yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Planning your Valentine's Day date? Joe's Grill and Cantina has a delicious and fun Valentine's Day date ready for you. Get started with an appetizer including queso and guacamole. Then have chicken tortilla soup plus your choice of 2 entrees, fajitas, voodoo enchiladas, chili lime salmon, and their famous Mexicali. Plus in the dinner with a heart-shaped skillet brownie. All of this for just $45 a couple. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart. Your place for Valentine's Day.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Last flash. I know you did it. I know you're it.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Arkansas Children's Northwest Magic and Miracles Radiothon is next Friday, 10 days from today. All of our shows on ESPN Arkansas will be broadcasting live on location during the event. That'll be Chuck and Bo. It'll be Morning Rush. It'll be halftime with Matt Jones. I won't be there. I'll be at the Texas Rangers Stadium for Arkansas baseball later that night. Ruskin and Zach will be on hand as well. We are helping raise funds and support for Arkansas Children's Northwest's next round of expansion at hitthatline.com. If you go to the webpage right now, see the link at the top of the page, click it, and we ask that you donate in the name of the halftime page. All of our shows are raising funds here, and so we ask that you at least help us out a little bit. While you're helping out one of the most important resources in our entire region, Arkansas Children's Northwest. Thank you to Schlotzsky's for being our presenting sponsor for halftime. Schlotzsky's, a mouthful and the perfect partner for your event catering needs. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime today. I feel like I accomplished something this morning, Matt, because I actually finished my taxes. Sent them in to Mom. Those who have been listening for the last few years are aware my mom is also my CPA. She's been doing that for a long, long time. I don't think she'll ever retire. And even when she does, I'm pretty sure she can at least fit my small tax return in there. But I had to get this over with quickly before the next phone call from Mom, because you know what it's like. It must be the same for you, Matt, growing up with an English teacher as your mom, because she's always going to make sure that if you haven't done your homework or ready for exams or whatever, that you're going to do it. Every single time I speak to my mother, once tax season begins, I will be reminded, have you got your taxes done yet? She sounds like that a little bit. Grew up in New York, still sounds like that. I sort of might maybe slightly a little bit avoid the phone calls at that point, but I don't want to avoid calls from my mom. I love her. So I got my taxes done. Now we can talk again.
There we go. Now, yeah, you got to get those done before baseball season. Both my parents being school teachers, Phil, they knew everything before I knew it. So they couldn't get away with anything.
The two things I'm not allowed to get away with are not getting taxes done in time or having rotten teeth. As a father, my dad's a pediatric dentist.
You floss your teeth, you add 7 years to your life.
That's an interesting piece of information that I think happens to be true.
Right? I've
always enjoyed just playing, sort of like target practice on the bathroom mirror with whatever's between my teeth. If you're just so good with that, you can fling it at a very certain angle. But yeah, we would never go anywhere. We get in the car, like Dad would do this to us. So he was doing this on purpose, knowing that he's like enjoying watching us run out of the car. We got big plans, go to dinner, go to a Pirates game or whatever, and the next thing you know, you're all piled in the car. Did you brush your teeth? Too scared to lie about it. So it was like a walk of shame. Open the door, you got to take the 50 steps to find the bathroom, brush the teeth, and then come back into the car. So, but that was the two things. That and math homework too. And sometimes I wonder if maybe my mother might have been adopted into the family, or I was adopted, but I look just like my dad, I sound just like him, we share all the same interests. Mom's the only one who's good at math. Like, I've actually become fairly decent at math, but it's only through sports statistics. That's it. Like, I have no interest in numbers of any other kind. TV ratings, I guess money in some cases, my own money, obviously, as I did my taxes today. And I am interested in keeping all my teeth where they are. So I've been pretty good about that. 877-377-6963.
Yeah, you don't look British. You can't get away with unlined teeth. British can get away with it now. You're like, oh, that's a British.
It's expected.
Kid.
Yeah. It's very, very well expected in that case. I saw where. Oh, we were checking earlier about some of your favorite ejections, and I don't even remember how we got into it because I wondered about leaving games early. We got into ejections a little bit. Favorite ejections. We had the Pirates manager Lloyd McClendon once get ejected and take first base with him into the dugout, into the clubhouse. I don't think he ever emerged with the base again. But every ballpark has extra bases, so they had another one to put in there.
It's always a joy to see an older man, have a temper tantrum. But I like when they kick the dirt over the plate. Are you blind? Do I need to get you a new set of glasses? Do you need an eye doctor appointment? But they start kicking dirt at each other. That's a good time.
You better not kick dirt on the umpire's foot, and you get thrown out of the game before that. Then you do it.
Right? Yeah. I got to get one extra and one in.
And I keep trying to feel like football coaches that get ejected from a ball game. It's the baseball coaches, that's the baseball managers that usually are the ones that can get really demonstrative without getting thrown out of the game.
The reason why is it doesn't hurt your team like it does in other sports. Basketball and football, when the head coach gets ejected, it hurts your team. In baseball, it doesn't hurt your team. Like, it's not an actual penalty, or it's not actually in basketball, it's points on the board.
Well, that is a good point, because you're not calling as many plays. I mean, there's all sorts of tiny little decisions that every head coach or baseball manager makes throughout a baseball game. So it does take that away. It's just you might not notice some of those decisions that they make. It's just that the bench coach in Major League Baseball, or in this case potentially like a Nate Thompson, these guys are usually simpatico on how they're going to decide how they're going to do something when somebody gets on base. But I think of you see a baseball coach turn his hat backwards, he's ready to get thrown out of the ball game, because he's going to get as close to that umpire's nose as he can. If you go too close, you got that brim on your cap, you make contact with that umpire's nose with the brim, you're gone. You might not have planned it that way. But you see a guy turn his hat around, he's planning to basically be able to tell you what the umpire had for dinner, just based on what his breath smells like.
You're a slacker, and your father was a slacker. That's the best nose-to-nose Back to the Future, right? He gets right. That's exactly what you're talking about.
But slacker's not the word that's going to get you thrown out. You could call an umpire a slacker, and he might look at you cross-eyed. Use that very special word, which we know about from Bull Durham, the word that I can't imagine has ever been used by a head coach in college baseball. That's definitely a professional baseball word to say. But slacker, that's not going to get you thrown out. Charlie reminds us Bobby Cox got ejected about once a month. I think he got ejected more than once a month. I think he was ejected from over 200 games? And he was ejected from probably more than a full season. Think about that. I always love to think about those sorts of things. That means he was ejected for basically a full season. Every day. Groundhog Day. I'm going to go get myself run. Did I read somebody text in earlier that Norm once walked up to home plate for the pregame meeting with a rule book because he wanted to make sure that the umpires were all on the same page as he was about what the rules of baseball were? That's always, did he get thrown out of the game for that? I would hope so, because if you walk up to the umpire meeting with a playbook and your plan is to show the umpires the playbook, then your plan was to be thrown out of the game.
Or you could be like Bill Coward and do it right in the middle of the game.
I still can't believe he didn't get kicked out for making any contact with the official. Or maybe he didn't actually make contact with the official's body. It was just stuffing the photo of the All-22 and the evidence of 12 Vikings on the field into the umpire's shirt pocket. But what if he didn't have a shirt pocket? What if he balled it up and had to hand it to him and actually pulled his hand up? Then you've made contact with the official, then you're done.
It's a big no-no right there. You're not supposed to touch the official. That's right. I think it's even more now than it was 20 years ago. I think kind of they'd let you maybe bump or touch, but now if you touch an official, that's a no-no.
So we got into it a little because of the ejection that Cal had at Arkansas. That would have been, I think, 4 seasons ago in January. And do you remember Arkansas was in the lead at that point? Cal gets the double technical. Kentucky came from behind and won the game. I was looking for sound bites of Cal from that day. I wasn't able to find them quickly during the show, but I'm pretty sure that he planned it. That was one of those ejections that lit a fire under his team.
Well, your boy George Brett, that's one of the best ones ever right there. He's like, what? Hang on, what? And then just sprints like Sammy Sosa sprinting to right field. I mean, sprints. And he has the chaw kind of spitting out a little bit with the eye black. I mean, he was fired up.
That's the closest I've ever seen a ball player to literally maybe assaulting an umpire or killing him for the pine tar incident. Now, you know that eventually went in the Royals' favor. I don't remember all the details about it, but the game was played under protest. They essentially allowed the home run to stand, gave the Yankees another chance to hit when they resumed the game later on in the season. But yeah, that's an all-time great ejection. And all Brett did to get ejected was put a little bit more pine tar than he should have on the bat, and then the blow up. But still the greatest ejection of all time.
He did look like Mel Blunt out there about to go play cornerback.
Blunt probably had a giant chaw in his mouth, too.
Yeah, he did.
Philip Wellman still had the greatest ejection of all time. Some of you folks will remember that. Wellman was the manager of the Mississippi Braves, the famous ejection where he did the Marine crawl from second base to the pitcher's mound and lobbed the rosin bag to the plate umpire like a grenade.
And it would have hit, too. It was a good throw.
It was the most perfect fake grenade throw of all time. And then I think he took second base with him out past the outfield fence because the clubhouse at that park was in the center field. I think he carried second base out there with him. And Welly's a beautiful guy. He was our manager the last year I worked for the Travelers. I saw him get ejected from a few games that season. It wasn't anything like that. It was still entertaining, but he didn't treat the rosin bag like it was grenades. Horseshoes, grenades, and rosin bags all end up going together. Now stay with halftime. Back to wrap up with the second hour in just a moment.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
This is halftime.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidde. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
Like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidde and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I'm in a slump. My energy took a nosedive out of nowhere, and I just don't have the motivation to get things done.
You're over 40. Could be lower testosterone. Have you tried Nugenix Total T?
Nugenix, the testosterone booster on TV?
That's right. Look, I felt the same plunge in my energy after I turned 40, so I tried out Nugenix to see if it would help me.
Did Nugenix make a difference for you?
Night and day. My stamina's way up now. I'm building lean muscle at the gym. I'm totally back on my game. And you could be too. Just send a text to Nugenix. They'll send you a complimentary bottle bottle so you can try it for yourself.
Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Planning your Valentine's Day date? Joe's Grill and Cantina has a delicious and fun Valentine's Day date ready for you. Get started with an appetizer including queso and guacamole. Then have chicken tortilla soup, plus your choice of 2 entrees, fajitas, voodoo enchiladas, chili lime salmon, and their famous Mexicali. Plus in the dinner with a heart-shaped skillet brownie. All of this for just $45 a couple. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart. Your place for Valentine's Day.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm so happy, 'cause today I found my friend there in my head. I'm so happy, that's okay, 'cause so are you. We broke our meters Sunday morning. It's every day for all I care, and I'm not scared. Light my candles in the days, 'cause I found God. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Jay in Cave Springs wants to know who we're listening to here, Matt.
Man, we had a little setup right there. We had Sheryl Crow doing Zeppelin, Dire Maker. Then we did Courtney Barnett doing the Breeders' Cannonball, and then that was St. Vincent doing Nirvana's Lithium. We're having Women's Appreciation Day because we're missing Alyssa Orange, so we're playing all women bumper music today.
That's right. And hour number 2 was just for covers. We'll see what hour number 3 brings. Who knows? But we do know it'll be female singers. 877-377-6963. I had to confirm it. I got a text from John in Springdale about the ejections of Bobby Cox. He was ejected from a full major league season, 162 games that Cox was ejected in his career.
That'll be the record. Nobody will touch that record.
So to me, what that means is, so he managed 29 years in the major leagues. No, he didn't. He managed 28 years in the major leagues.
Got paid for 29.
Just remove one full season out of that. Although when you get thrown out of a game as a baseball manager, the win and the loss still goes on your record. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't know what the case would be for NBA or college, but in big league baseball, the interim manager for the day, if you want to use that term, does not get the win or the loss. Now, I don't know who owns the record in the NFL or college, but we can find out who's been thrown out of the most games in the NBA.
North Carolina Tar Heel is number 1, and then Michigan State Spartan is number 2. Let me see who number 3 is.
So number 1 is Rasheed Wallace. Number 2 is Draymond Green. And how many times was Wallace ejected?
29. He's an Eric Dickerson, and then Draymond Green's at a Tony Bua right now.
But doesn't that feel like a low amount of games to be thrown out? That 6th foul is pretty powerful, is it not?
Well, I think I don't even think it's a foul out as much as it's a double tech type of thing.
So I wonder if that's just DQs or if it's just the double text.
Your boy, he's a high school guy. He's a high school guy that came from, he's got the 3rd, and then the 4th, we put Sir in front of his name, but he's not British at all.
Well, who is?
He's an Auburn Tiger that's 4th. Your boy Sir Charles Barkley.
Okay.
And then 3rd is your other boy Dwight Howard.
I got a lot of boys, Matt.
Well, if you've seen the latest on Dwight, I mean, there's where there's smoke, there's fire. You kind of wonder about Dwight Howard a little bit sometimes.
Well, the Superman costume, obviously. One of the best ejections, and a couple people have texted in about it. If you go as far as you can to stay in that dugout by putting on a costume, I feel you should be allowed to stay in the dugout. At that point, the Bobby Valentine with the fake mustache, there'll never be anything better than that. We need Dave Van Horn to do that at some point. If Dave gets ejected from a ball game, I'm going to get him a fake mustache. It'll be beautiful. It'll look just like Raleigh Fingers' mustache. It'll be curled up at the end. It might even be waxy for him. I'm going to give Dave a fake Raleigh Fingers mustache. If he gets thrown out of a game this year, it's on him to come back into the dugout and look just like Dave Van Fingers. Now stay with halftime. We'll have hour number 3 in just a moment.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some slippery road conditions could develop, all due to some ice across the north today. High temperatures upper 30s north, mid 40s with rain further south. Now, the round of some freezing rain with some light ice accumulations tonight across the north, low 30s north, mid 30s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Wagner paints.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What's angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Right after the top of the hour, it is 1 minute after 1 o'clock. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson. My partner is Matt Jones. Christian Johnson, the C Unit, is producing in our headquarters. Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. And we'll have Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio coming up in the next segment. Bill's got his voice back after what sounded like a few days of just torture for anybody that works in radio. But he fought through it, and he'll be joining us in just a little bit. So now's the time to get with us if you want. I've seen later today, Matt, Indiana takes on number 11 Michigan State at 8 o'clock tonight. This is Tom Izzo's opportunity to break a tie with Bob Knight for the most wins ever by a Big Ten coach. 726 wins for both Knight and Izzo. Izzo's been there for 30 years at Michigan State University. And back, the first year that he was at Michigan State was Cal's last year at UMass. With the year that,
wow,
yeah, Camby and those guys went to the Final Four. And the next year, Cal was the not just head coach, but he was also the general manager, might have even been the executive vice president of the New Jersey Nets. And that's shocking to think about. Even Indiana's had 7 different coaches since Izzo started there at Michigan State. And he's got a good team here this year. Now, they haven't been, I don't remember the last year they made the Final Four. They have that one national title under Izzo, but they've made every tournament after his first 2 years. And they didn't make, of course, there wasn't a tournament in 2020, but after Izzo's first 2 years, and they missed the tournament those 2 seasons, they've made the tournament every year since.
He's the Mike Tomlin of college of college basketball. What's Tomlin won 1 or 2 Super Bowls, but is it just the one, or has he won 2?
He's been to 1, he's been to 2. He's won 1, he's been to 2.
Okay, so yeah, Izzo's won 1, but what does Tomlin never do? Never has a losing record. What does Izzo do? Always gets into the tournament, except for those first 2 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they've only had 3 coaches at Michigan State since 1969. I didn't realize, looking back at their history, Judd Heathcote won the national title with
Same with Pittsburgh.
Magic.
Chuck Noll, that would be the same thing. Yeah,
that's right. There's probably some other programs where maybe you've had a single coach be around for 40 years, but that's real.
At Oakland, the guy.
That's right.
Yeah,
he and Izzo were boys. Remember, they wore the same Christmas sweater when Oakland and Michigan State played each other in December. You get 2 coaches to decide to dress alike, they better be really good friends.
They get it. They're 2 people that get it. Yeah.
Absolutely, they get it. So, yeah, it's like looking at Bobby Knight there too, and that's the thing Izzo points to. And I know he was asked about this because I read about it in the Atlantic. And everything has to devolve, unfortunately, into a greatest of all time conversation. And it's I hate that's the way to look at it. But Izzo was asked about it, and he said, "Look, Knight's got 3 national titles. I have 1, and that's what it's got to be about."
It's what Tiger Woods talks about when he's like, do you want to catch, Sam Snead's record? Do you want to catch Jack Nicklaus' record? It's like, yeah, I want the major record. I'm not worried about the record for most tournament wins. I want the most majors championships. And I think he might be 2 behind him still, so I don't know that he's gonna get there.
Looking through, they made the last time in the Final Four was 2019, so that's not too far off. I mean, it's been 6 years since they last made it to the Final Four under Tom Izzo. I mean, 19-4 right now in the Big Ten. What's to say that they might not get there once again? Izzo's taken them to the Final Four 8 times. 8 times in 30 years is really
19-4. They're going to be at least a 2 seed, man. If they keep on that trajectory, they'll have a decent. It's all about matchups or whatever, but they should be no worse a 3 seed.
Just looking at who's really good in the Big Ten this year. Of course, Arkansas. One of the wins that may end up getting you into the tournament would be the win over Michigan, potentially. I mean,
man, Michigan's a good squad, man. They got some bigs that can handle the ball. I seen them play the other night. I like Michigan.
5 ranked teams in the Big Ten. Purdue is the top ranked. Michigan's still playing well, but they're ranked 20th. And they've won 4 games in a row. And they take on Purdue in their next ball game. Looking at SEC games tonight, Auburn's still number 1 in the AP poll. They're number 2 in the coaches poll. They'll visit Vanderbilt. And Vandy's already got some wins in their building that are against high-quality teams. Just beat Texas at Memorial Gymnasium, beat Kentucky at Memorial Gymnasium, beat Tennessee also at Memorial, and seems to be that they like to rush the floor. That would be a game where maybe they'll rush they've already rushed the floor twice at Vanderbilt this year. It's time to put up chain link fences around the thing for the rest of the season. Florida at Mississippi State. Better watch out for Florida. Healthy now. And when that team's healthy, they can beat anybody. It's not the same group that put up only 44 points against Tennessee. Tennessee takes on Kentucky. No Jackson Robinson today. And who knows how long he'll be out. It's a wrist injury that was exacerbated in their last game. And Robinson's been one of their top scorers, of course, a former Razorback. And Tennessee at 20-4, Kentucky at 16-7. That's 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN. Alabama at Texas. This will be Bama's first game as the number 1 team in the coaches poll. And then you get Alabama and Auburn later on Saturday. Georgia and A&M are the late game. Everybody's playing this week. There's no byes. Tomorrow, Arkansas hosting LSU, Ole Miss visiting Carolina, and Oklahoma against Mizzou. And the way we've been looking at this game against LSU tomorrow is it is the must-win of any of the games that you have right now. Maybe part of that, Matt, is that it's the game that's right there in front of you. But this is – so maybe the better way to look at this, there is a subtle difference between must-win and you can't lose. You can't lose this game because you already lost once to LSU. You can't lose it.
Yeah, we had Coach Z on earlier, and that was I think, and just as a competitor, kind of just having awareness as a player, you're looking at this schedule. I think this is the most important game of the season because of that. You lose this game, then it's at A&M, at Auburn, then home against Missouri. And my thoughts, like, if you can't beat LSU at home, what makes me think you're going to beat one of those teams? So they better do what Christian Unit says, and they better let's get it. Turn up.
You know, and I look at the football committee, and these are different committees. I think it's different sets of information they're looking at. There is no net ranking or RPI or anything when it comes to football. But, you know, the number of losses certainly is a reason why Ole Miss and Alabama were left out, but it's also who those losses came to. Ole Miss was Kentucky's 1 SEC win. Oklahoma picks up a win at home against Alabama. Those were bad teams this year, especially Kentucky. That was the thing for Ole Miss. You could point to your win against Alabama, point to blowouts against Arkansas, against whomever else. You lost at home to Kentucky, so the conversation stops right there. That's how I would feel about a second loss to LSU. You know, that's a loss that is 1 loss to LSU, 2 losses to LSU. You don't belong in the tournament.
You got to earn it. Nothing's given to you. You got to go out there and earn it. And I agree. That's a good analogy.
Well, this is more than any, because it's a quad 3 game. You know, you lose to Texas at home. Maybe there's still an opening if you pull off an upset on the road at A&M.
That's what you have to do. You'd have to win a couple other games that you're not supposed to.
I'd also say, man, there's one more game that's a must not lose, and it's visiting South Carolina. You can't be, now I don't know what'll happen with Carolina until you play them, but you can't be their one win. Like, there's no way you're going to make the tournament if you're one of LSU's. If LSU's only win of the conference right now, and if Carolina beats you, then you're their only win too. You can't make the tournament in that case. Then I'm not even going to break out the world's smallest violin. I'm not going to play anything for it. It'll just be dead silence. You can crave something sweet and delicious any time of the day. Andy's Frozen Custard always has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. You'll find Andy's Frozen Custard all across our listening audience in Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive in Conway, North Little Rock. They're on JFK Boulevard, thinking about the Jitterbug concrete right now. It's vanilla or chocolate frozen custard blended with espresso, Heath Bar, and almonds. You can get that anytime over at Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, they're ready to serve you. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio coming by for a stop on halftime in just a moment.
This is halftime.
We are here in the Bud Walton Arena, where it is about as loud as a building could get. The loudest arena to start a game I've ever been in.
This is a hard place. You don't come here expecting to win. Let me tell you that.
The name, the brand, the identity that he brings to a program that has a storied, rich tradition, an outstanding fan base in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Newson dealer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Berg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We missed the time to talk with Bill King last week. He's got his full voice back. In fact, he's got 101% of that voice back. And he joins us right now here on Halftime. Bill, of course, hosting 6 to 9 WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio. He is the king of college football talk. Bill, you sounded great this morning. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel good. I sounded worse last week than I was. I don't think I've ever had the Darth Vader voice quite that severe.
You fought through it, though. You really did. I mean, I listened for a good hour. I didn't know how you were able to get through it.
People kept telling me, you need to get off the air. We today or yesterday, I don't remember, we replayed some of Monday, like 30 seconds, and that's all we could do. It was so bad. It was funny, though. Self-deprecating humor is always good.
They tell me that all the time, so at least it's all good. Yeah, hey, Bill, I want to ask you a little bit about some of these college players that are going to the NFL, and just who are some of these guys you think are can't miss, like Abdul Carter from Penn State. I think that's as close as a can't miss. Where do you see him going? What about Travis Hunter? And then can you kind of give me like a couple? Do you think it's Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward at the quarterback spot? Who do you really like as a couple can't miss prospects?
Well, I think the team here is probably going to take Shedeur Sanders. Now, I wouldn't know because I don't keep up, but that's just off the street. That's what people are saying. Travis Hunter is a spectacular athlete. I worry about him holding up. He's probably 175 pounds on a good day. Devontae Smith is small, too. He's 5'11", about 170, and we've seen him get killed a few times, but he keeps hanging in there. He's a heck of a receiver. But I think Travis Hunter's more of a corner, and in that case, really, other than Patrick Peterson, there are not many corners that you think are physical, whose job requires them to be physical, let's say in the running game. So I'm probably not as worried about that one as I would be, but he's probably the best overall athlete, I would think. Abdul Carter is a fantastic hybrid pass rusher, physical, can play against the run as well. James Pierce had a bad year for Tennessee, and I don't know if he's dropping out of the first round. He was the top-ranked guy going in. And let me back up. He didn't have a bad year, but he didn't have a follow-through big year like was expected. He's got 6'6", 270-pound length and size, but he's falling back some, I believe.
Yeah, they had him right outside the top 10. They had him behind the Mikael Williams guy at Georgia. But I'm with you. I think he's a stud as well. Do you think Shedeur Sanders has the arm strength? Or is he? I mean, is he slotted where you think he is right now? It's saying the Giants are going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, probably all these quarterbacks probably taken higher than they should be, but it's the nature of the sport. It's the nature of the job description. It's the nature of the need. I don't know if there's not one guy in this group that just floors you as a Sunday guy and a superstar Sunday guy. And admittedly, that's rare. I'm not acting like they come out every year, but I think he's probably the surest bet.
Wanted to ask about Ohio State looking at a defensive coordinator. I know they've got, they just moved Brian Hartline right into the role of offensive coordinator with Chip Kelly. It was $6. I didn't realize it was $6 million until Connor mentioned it yesterday. Matt Patricia, potentially a candidate at Ohio State?
Yeah, that would seem suspicious, not because that wouldn't be an outstanding gig, but he's a pro guy. And I don't know, although he's not being asked to be the head coach, I don't know if guys that are comfortable, long pro careers, like Matt Patricia would be interested in coming back down. I don't know that to be the case. That one surprised me a little bit.
Well, do you feel so like the idea of Ron Rivera taking a year to work at Cal? And I don't remember what it is he's going to be doing specifically at Cal, but he's not going to be the head coach. I mean, it's like he says Belichick made going back to college cool again. So maybe we'll start to see a little bit more of this. But do you feel there's going to be you need a little acclimation time? Do you think so? Belichick's not getting any acclimation time to college except just going and right into recruit.
Well, I believe Rivera's GM, which means it's not the same definition. It's not just blind authority over all personnel, but it's the personnel department is, I believe, where he's going to be at Cal. I don't know, acclimation period. If you're not the head coach, I don't know if you're as stressed about this mercenary vigilante environment that we now exist in. I don't think it's quite as stressful on an assistant. If you're a head coach, it's a nightmare. It never goes away. It's a reoccurring nightmare every night you put your head on the pillow. But I don't know in the case of an assistant coach if it would be the same. It's just those guys that seem to be NFL guys, and I label them that way. Sometimes I just don't necessarily trust or believe that they want to come down to college unless there is no other choice.
Bill, what's going down in Lubbock, man? I'm seeing that they got 7 of the top 75 in the ESPN top 100 in this last portal class. It says the number 2 portal class going in. Are you liking what they're doing down there? Is Texas Tech maybe that Indiana of last year? You think they could win the Big 12? I didn't see all the guys they got, but are you liking what they're doing?
Their GM is a guy that Notre Dame threw the bank at last couple of weeks. They lost their GM to Southern Cal for 7 figures. And they went after the guy at Texas Tech and threw everything they had at him and couldn't get him. Couldn't get him. He's staying. He's got family in Lubbock. And Texas Tech's got money, guys, as we know. They may not be thought of like A&M in Texas. They got lots of play money for this environment, and they're using it, and they are a threat. Now, are they a threat to be a national champion? No. But are they a threat like Arizona State was? Heck yeah.
You use the term general manager. That is becoming very popular. Is not the word. It's just that you're seeing these positions now all across college football. We have yet to see a general manager at Arkansas. Sam Pittman was asked about that in the lead up to the Liberty Bowl, and he said if that's something to happen, it probably happens around springtime. Now, I'm not sure how they envision the role of a general manager because it can be different place to place. Do you feel like Arkansas is behind right now because they don't have somebody that is called a general manager?
Vague answer, and the answer is depends on who you get. That guy can be an incredibly powerful member of the staff because talent procurement, I think, is the second most important thing behind how good your head coach is in the list of things that are necessary. So it depends on who you can go get. Just to name a GM, and I know that's not what you're suggesting, I don't think it changes anything. It also depends on the stress level of the head coach. Mm-hmm. And is the head coach comfortable with turning this over? In a certain way. Obviously, the head coach is the final say. It just depends on the comfort level there. So I don't necessarily want to personally say Arkansas is behind because they don't have a GM.
Well, I was reading through the career of Howie Roseman, the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles, who, right. He's got to be on the short list of the best at that position right now, just to be the guy that's put together 2 Super Bowl winners with 2 different coaches and 2 different quarterbacks. And he's had the role and the final say over the personnel since they got rid of Chip Kelly and brought in Peterson. So you see it's not the same across every team in the NFL. Some right. teams have a general manager that has the final say. Some teams have a coach that has the final say, and I'm sure there's meetings and arguments and positions that they take where there's some power sharing here. With college, it still feels like no matter what, because this is the way it's always been, the head coach will have the final say. It is still the head coach's team.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. And if you're Philadelphia, just take one of the best players on Georgia's defense every year. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. Just take, 3 stars, 3 studs, and then Josh Sweat, who probably might have been the best player in the game, Florida State guy. Yeah, they've made a lot of right decisions.
I've wondered, too, about the idea of a coach that just, because you say all the constraints, all of the responsibilities that a head coach has to worry about that have nothing to do with actually coaching the team. Could you envision a point in college football where a head coach does give up that personnel and allows somebody else to make that final decision while understanding they're always going to be talking about the potential personnel on a team?
99 times out of 100, no. Yeah. There's too much of an ego involved there. And you start worrying about personnel decisions now, they drop a guy in your lap that you don't agree with. I don't see that happening. Now, what if it's a guy who, let's say, he's had a good career, but he's getting old? Maybe, and I don't even know if a guy like that with a long ego, if he could do it, but it would have to be a really tenuous situation where maybe the head coach is told by the AD or the president, either do this or get out. It'd have to be something like that. It'd have to be a threat.
Hey, Bill, I wanted to get. I see there's a bevy of receivers that are in the top 30, top 40. Who are your favorite? The kid at Missouri. I think there's a really talented kid out there at Arizona. Who are some of the? Is there a Jordan Jefferson, so to speak, or is there somebody that you're like, man, that's a can't miss receiver?
Not like that. Luther Burden at Missouri. You mentioned him. He's outstanding. He's a green grass playmaker. He's got NFL breakaway speed. He's a true junior. He's done. To me, that would be one at the very, very top. I don't know if, and I haven't really thought about it lately coast to coast, I don't know if this is a big year for this receiving core. And the other ironic thing is, for some, there are reasons, but the transition from high school to college at wide receiver is not that hard compared to some other positions. But from college to pro, because the DBs are so much better than anything you ever see in college, is a much tougher transition. And I don't know that I see a young receiver exploding like we've seen the last couple of years.
Last thing before you go, when we talk next week, it'll be baseball season. You get the college baseball starting up on Friday. And I know that's your second favorite college sport. You always keep an eye on Vandy. I know you focus so much on college football, but this has always been something that you've taken pride in and paid attention to as well.
Right. Love it. And I haven't looked at the schedule yet just because I want to get into it later in the week and figure out what I'm going to be watching starting Friday. All these matchups. And some good matchups down in Texas, too. But it's your typical list. It's A&M with all they've got back, plus Jake LaViolette, and you've got LSU, Tennessee, Arkansas, Florida. I saw one listing, guys, had Georgia in the top 5. I don't remember which one it was, and this is year 2 for Coach Johnson. Kentucky is always better than people think. Texas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to bring a whole lot more in baseball right now than they are in football. And certainly in softball.
And more than they did in men's basketball, too. Their women's team's doing all right, though. Bill, appreciate you hopping on with us. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. He'll join us each Tuesday here on Halftime. You want to get over to Twin Peaks sometime soon. You know what they got coming up? It started yesterday, goes through Friday. Sweethearts Costume Party. That's Scenic Views calling you to Sweethearts Week. Just get over for Scenic Views wrapped in red and steal your heart specials at the Sweethearts Week Costume Party. Started yesterday, goes through Valentine's Day, Friday at Twin Peaks in Rogers. 29-degree draft beer, always flowing, made from scratch fan favorites, and, of course, their famous Scenic Views. More TVs, bigger screens, and always more to watch at Twin Peaks. It's the home stretch of halftime. You can get with us, 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I'm in a slump. My energy took a nosedive out of nowhere, and I just don't have the motivation to get things done.
You're over 40. Could be lower testosterone. Have you tried Nugenix Total T?
Nugenix, the testosterone booster on TV?
That's right. Look, I felt the same plunge in my energy after I turned 40, so I tried out Nugenix to see if it would help me.
Did Nugenix make a difference for you?
Night and day. My stamina is way up now. I'm building lean muscle at the gym. I'm totally back on my game. And you could be too. Just send a text to Nugenix. They'll send you a complimentary bottle
bottle so you can try it for yourself. Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321-321. That's ROCK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
He left no time to regret. Kept his way with his same old safe bet. Me, my tears dry. Get on without my you went back to what you know so far from all that we went through. And I took a troubled track. My heart's sad. I'll go back to black.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, I found a great ejection of your boy, Rasheed Wallace here. And this wouldn't even be one of his regular season ejections because this took place during the Western Conference Finals in the year 2000, playing against the Shaq Kobe Lakers. This ejection coming from official Ron Garretson. Have a listen. You don't hear the announcers, you'll just hear the official.
Timeout LA. Whack! Get out! Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone. I asked him and I told him. I already told Mike twice before to have him stop staring to try to intimidate me. He did it again. He's gone.
He ejected Wallace for staring at him.
100%, man. Don't be an instigator. Don't start it. They're real quick to trying to take control of the game. I get it.
But I mean, think of all the reasons that somebody can get ejected from a ball game. A very special word that is said. Making contact with the official, being too demonstrative, throwing a chair, staring at somebody is enough to get you ejected. That one's brand new. Because I've tried staring at people all the time. You know, all it does is creep them out.
Rejected, yeah.
Yeah, it just creeps them out. What's wrong with creeping out an official? It's not like you're threatening him. It's not. I mean, really, staring at somebody isn't threatening him. You might give him those eyes. You know that look. You might stare daggers at him, but they're not real daggers. That one, that's a step too far. Man. But if you're warned for staring and you keep staring, maybe you should go. I don't know.
That's back when power forwards were power forwards, man. Rasheed Wallace, you had Dirk, you had Kevin Garnett. I mean, there was a plethora. There's your boy right there.
That's a guy getting ejected off of his reputation.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
That would have been, Sprewell would have been ejected for the same reason, probably around that same era. You just don't stare at somebody when they already don't like you.
Hey, there's a reason he got to 29 ejections. He was he really is one of the most underrated bigs, power forwards in the game. He was at a time when you have first ballot Hall of Famer Dirk, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett playing. So, but Rasheed could do what anybody. I mean, Jermaine O'Neal. I know he's more of a center, but just kind of going down the man. That was a different era of basketball. Rasheed Wallace would be better in today's game. That dude.
He could hit it from the outside.
Absolutely. Uber athletic. He just, some of the things with him, it was just in between his ears because the talent was there.
Can you imagine a football player getting ejected for staring at an official? I mean, it's different. Who was the guy? Was it Hainsworth that made contact with the official because the referee threw the penalty flag at him and then hit him in the eyeball? I forget exactly who that was. But I think you could at that point, well, he's probably 8 times the size of the gentleman, so that could be somewhat different. Albert Bell could have been ejected for staring at somebody improperly. That's
Charles Oakley.
Yes, just those who can intimidate by looking at you. But there's literally no language being spoken. There's no demonstration. Staring at somebody is not being demonstrative. You're not really breaking a rule. You're just being told, don't do that. So you flip a guy the bird on the basketball court. You can get thrown out of a game for that. Anyway, that was a fun one. I'd never heard of anybody getting thrown out just for staring at somebody. You might work at a bar, someone's staring at you. Get rid of that guy. No, the bouncers. This one's a step too far.
Do you see the 3-hour 50th season and all the people that are coming back for Saturday Night Live? It's going to start.
Is that coming up this Sunday?
16th, April. I mean, the 16th this month, yes, but 8 p.m. Eastern. Chris Rock, Fred Armisen, Adam Sandler, Jason Sudeikis, Kate McKinnon, Kristen. I mean, it's I'm going to have to check that. I mean, Saturday Night Live, the last couple, I didn't get to see your boy Bob Dylan's one. I saw David Chappelle's, so I'll be interested to see some of that.
They need to now because
Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Well, hey, I just saw somebody that was supposed to look like Randy Savage in a commercial in the Super Bowl. We've seen Carrie Fisher in movies, in Star Wars movies, as Princess Leia, though she's been dead for, I think she's been gone for 6-7 years or so. Why not have a way to get a Belushi hologram out there? Might as well. If this is the 50th anniversary,
Farley.
He's probably the best ever. Yeah.
Belushi was one of the, you're right.
Should be a Farley Belushi skit, truthfully. Why not? Throw Phil Hartman in there while we're at it.
Go get the band Fear to perform again.
Ooh.
I don't think they'd let them, but no.
Why not? They just showed him on the 50th anniversary and had an interview with the singer.
Homie still looked like a rock star.
Yes, he did. If the Stones can still be rock stars at their ages, then Fear can. I don't remember the guy's name, but he can still be a rock star at his age too. Yeah, absolutely he can. Hey, speaking of music, Chiefs fans might not want to listen to this. You see, your boy Nick Wright, who is probably the loudest Chiefs fan in all of the media, was serenaded on his FS1 show yesterday.
Be an F game.
The Chiefs have game, played enough game. The Chiefs have game, they played the worst game. Now these guys are going to so sad. Mahomes have game. Tom Brady's still a GOAT. The Chiefs.
Yeah, what they say.
Played so bad. Have game. Destiny. Have game. It denied. No 3P. Have game. No parade. Have game. Oh, have game. Have game. Have game. Tom Brady's still a GOAT.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's a barbershop quartet right there, man. They were getting down. So the stat is Patty Mahomes is 3-0 in Super Bowls, not against Tom Brady and not when Tom Brady's in the booth. So if Tom Brady's there, there's nothing he can do about it.
Didn't Brady also go 3-2 in his first 5 Super Bowls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just never got blown out. That's the thing. Never got shown. Never. Well, I mean, so I know he was the MVP of the first Super Bowl he played
Deion
in.
Branch.
But he was he, or was it Branch that was?
Branch was the MVP because he got that deal to Seattle. You know, he had like 12, 14 catches or something and ended up getting that big deal to Seattle, went up there for a couple years and came back to New England.
Orlando Brown was the football player.
He was a large human.
He got the yellow flag in the eye and went up, and it was Haynesworth that stomped on I think it was on an opponent's head or face. Something like that. I don't remember when that went down, but it was Orlando Brown that got hit in the eyeball by that weighted flag. I've never picked up one of those flags before. I guess there's just enough weight to throw it where you want. Anyway, it's kind of funny hearing the trolling here of Nick Wright. So Brady, well, I guess when's the next Super Bowl Fox will host? Because you rotate it around. You've got, I don't know who's next year, NBC, CBS, ESPN, ABC, and then 4 years from now, get Mahomes in the Super Bowl. See if he can win it with Brady with Brady there.
You know, I don't know that you think in 4 years Brady's still going to be doing this now. You know, doesn't it feel like he's going to do this maybe a year or two and then he's going to go off to do something else? I wonder if he's still there in 4 years.
He said he signed the contract to fulfill the entire thing. I mean, he said that himself. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. But to me, he looks like somebody and comes across as someone that will put himself into the job. Now, I didn't watch the first half. I had to listen to it. And so if you were to put Tom Brady on the radio, because I listened to Kurt Warner do the color for this game on the radio. Warner's great on TV. He's terrific on radio. There's a difference between doing one and the other. Brady on the radio, he takes too much time to get his points across. It feels to me there's still a lot of room for him to grow into this role. But to me, he does come across as somebody that if he signs a contract, he's going to fulfill it. He did that with the Patriots. And $15 million a year, even though, he's making, what is it? It's $37 million a year. That's too much to walk away from, isn't it? How are you paying somebody that much to actually broadcast these games?
That's how you get that canary yellow watch.
Worth $750,000. But I read it was only the second most expensive watch in the building. Jay-Z had one that was worth over $2 million.
You know, when you get to that level, what are you paying? 12% on that to, how much are you insuring it for, and how much are they just giving it to you? You know, they want to give that to Brady, or what do you got? The Met Gala, or when they walk on the red carpet, they put Scarlett Johansson in a necklace, or Anne Hathaway, but they're just letting them wear it. They're not
the
actually
loaner. So not spill coffee on that.
Do you think
thing.
that's actually Tom Brady's watch? Is
Maybe
what I'm saying.
So. Well, it's the same idea as the halftime show performance. It's a loaner. You get these moments to promote yourself. You're not getting paid for it. Yeah, maybe. Because Brady's watch was getting, I think, more conversation than his announcing was. So I would hope that thing was for free. But then again, if you're making $37 million, you got $750,000 literally in your back pocket. I mean, you got that money falling out of your backside.
It's in the golf bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably $750,000 in different slots in the golf bag.
Everything is in the banana stand.
Yes, it is. Jacob wants information on the baseball team. We don't quite have enough time for that at the moment here. Gavin says, Crazy Eyes for Mr. Deeds is going to get you ejected. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, because those are...
Who's that, Steve Buscemi playing that, Mr. Deeds? Yeah.
Those are the crazy googly eyes. That's going to creep you out of them a little bit more. Steve said Nolan didn't get ejected for staring at refs, but he was the most intimidating. Just a guy who wouldn't have to say anything, just cross the arms. It's the same as Bob Knight. Bob Knight didn't have to say anything, but he did throw a chair, and he did say a lot. But those people, and it's that reputation too, but it's also a gravitas of personality and of knowledge of the game that'll make somebody stop right there in their tracks and be afraid of you without throwing you out of the game. But I'm just not quite sure that Ron Garretson respected Rasheed Wallace the way that officials might respect the head coach. I think he literally was afraid of Rasheed Wallace.
Well, was Tim Donahue on that, or Donahue, was he on that staff as well? Because there was a lot of point shaving going on with those refs during that time.
That's a very good question. Maybe I ought to take a look at the box score and see who the other officials were. You might be listening to us on any of our 4 radio station affiliates all across the beautiful state of Arkansas, but you can always listen to Halftime or any other of our shows on ESPN Arkansas live on the Hit That Line Now app. You also can watch all our shows on the Hit That Line Now app, and all the podcasts are available on the Hit That Line Now app. You can just download it anywhere you download your apps. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Now stay with us. We'll be back to wrap up halftime in just a moment.
This is Halftime. Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line Podcast Network and on hitthatline.com.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Looking for the best way to save big this winter? WT Equipment has you covered with exclusive winter savings on Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors from New Holland. Choose your deal. 0% financing for 72 months or get a free loader with your tractor purchase. These powerful, fuel-efficient tractors are built for hard work and year-round reliability. And now, they come with unbeatable savings. Hurry into WT Equipment before March 31st to lock in your deal. Visit us today or call 479-442-8284 for details.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Old man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So turned out, had a heart of glass. Seemed like the real thing long before. Motion mistrust, love's gone behind. What's going on? It was divine. Sing back, has in my mind. Seemed like the real thing, but I was so blind.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Great stuff today. Appreciate your calls and your texts. If you missed anything, the Halftime Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast comes out very soon. It's such a good podcast, we put the name Halftime in there twice. Eastside Liquor has been sponsoring the Halftime podcast for the last 3 years. 9390 Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith, 479-452-7311. The podcast today, including our talks with Kevin Bohannon about Arkansas baseball and Matt Zimmerman about tomorrow's basketball game against LSU. Also, Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Anything else that Seaburger feels like throwing in there, too. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a moment, and we get to do this all over again tomorrow. Today in history, 1982, Cardinals fans should be celebrating. Today's the day you acquired Ozzie Smith from the Padres.
The Wizard.
That's right, in exchange for Gary Templeton. Today in 2005, Jose Canseco's book Juiced was released, implicating Mark McGwire, Juan Gonzalez, Rafael Palmeiro, Pudge Rodriguez, and Jason Giambi in the steroid scandal.
Did anybody that he came out in that book feel to end up making the Hall of Fame?
I think Pudge is in the Hall of Fame.
Pudge is, okay.
That'd be the one.
Isn't that kind of like a Godfather thing, though? Like, you don't go against the family. You know, like he's in the fraternity, and then he's just spilling all the tea on all. Like, you're not supposed to go against the family,
especially former teammates of his. That's where he got the information about this. Like, I mean, he would know about McGwire, right? They were the Bash brothers, for crying out loud. Do you think the next time that they met that they actually bashed forearms, or one guy thought I might have to duck. Also today is Jennifer Aniston's 56th birthday. Doesn't look a day older than 40, maybe 35. All right, 32. Sheryl Crow turned 63 today. That's one of the reasons we played her version of Dire Maker. And Tina Louise, who was Ginger on Gilligan's Island, turns 91 years old today. We were celebrating badass women all day long with all of our comeback songs, and I'm not sure if there's anybody ever badder than Blondie, who came in here. Debbie Harry must have had a great time in the late 70s and the early 80s.
We did save one of the best for last. That's right.
It's been good stuff today. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Matt, enjoy Knockout of the Champions League.
Champions League.
That's right. And then tomorrow it's Clay Henry and Grant Hall. So it should be a lot of fun. Stay warm, stay dry, everybody out there. And also stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach coming up after the top of the hour break here on ESPN Arkansas. For Matt Jones and Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for tuning in today. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.